died in the palm of my hand.
Continue.
That little body, I do believe, is the greatest weight I have on my conscience, for I realize today that it is a mortal sin to violate the great laws of nature. We should not hurry, we should not be impatient, but we should confidently obey the rhythm of people and things.
What's your realization? Any reflection on that? Put up your hand, yeah. Yeah, now, yeah, give to Mataji there. Let her. No, you give her, let her, she. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. I think my realization from this is like not to violate the laws of nature. So everything has a right time, place, and circumstance. Let it occur without being impatient.
Yeah, and how does it affect your Krishna conscious?
So even we should have the enthusiasm and have that patience if we're not feeling, that we're not there yet, but continue practicing. And after the continuation, you offer to Krishna, this is the best I can give, so please accept. And then only by His mercy, with our patience and efforts.
All right, nice.
We'll be able to
give him, yeah. What are the consequences of not following?
You die in the palm of the hand.
That's for the butterfly. We're talking about your Krishna consciousness.
The consequences is that oftentimes if we rush into things that you might fall down because of the expectation that you want to be at the certain level that you may not be.
Very nice, thank you. That's a nice realization, yeah. Appreciate that. You want to? Okay, go ahead, yeah.
There was a local saying in my language that, it's a local saying in my language, South Indian, that you cannot squeeze a green mango to make it ripe. So I have to wait for it. But I was thinking to what extent that is true of when it comes to the practice of Krishna consciousness.
Jai Shri Radha Shyama Sundar ki jai.
When it comes to encouraging ourselves or maybe people who are guiding others, encouraging to progress, right? How does that compare in a sense, forcing things to make it happen?
Ooh, forcing people to do it. That's what you're saying, yeah. Well, it all depends, actually. It depends on the situation, time, place, circumstances. In a family, if it's a little kid is going to do something wrong, you can force them because you're trying to protect them and so on. But if it's adults, then it has to come from a different level altogether. You can't, especially in a temple environment, every single individual here is a volunteer, right? So there's no, in reality you can't really force, but if you force like using threats and so on, then it's tantamount to actually committing offenses. So you should be very careful. I mean, this is for all of us. We should be very careful. The way we actually encourage another person to actually come forward to do service is through affection, love, and the fact that they can hear my heart, that I have so much for you to make advancement. That's how I'm approaching you. I'm not approaching you for the service. I'm approaching you because I know you will make a wonderful devotee, and Krishna loves you also. Yeah.
I was thinking something in terms of someone who may be guiding somebody, there are so many guides in the community.
Yeah.
style of guiding is so different. Someone may be very persistent behind someone.
Yeah, I think mentors and so on, they should have you should have a course, the training course, where they should know how the words they use, how, the choices they make. Everyone should be in the same book. Otherwise, as you say, some are too forceful and so on, and the repercussions may not be healthy for the community. Yeah.
So do we have such programs in all the communities? Because what is that? So do we have such standards in all the communities? Because, it's not...
Yeah, I don't know, not that I know of, but I think there's a lot of, in society itself, in different cities, they have different ways, self-help groups and so on. You can look up the community news and so on, who's offering what courses about interpersonal relationship. Yeah.
This is something, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I have seen it happening again and again, that some people have that style of, and they wouldn't want to hear also, like, it's not going to happen, It may not be, I'm not talking about the person who is receiving, the one who is guiding, may not be, particularly because they have some experience and they have some status and may not be willing to hear.
Yeah, that is a difficult thing we all have to go through. I think ISKCON is a very unique organization. Without saying too much. We are always facing challenges like that. But as a community here, you all can come together and come up with a blueprint for some courses for leaders who want to be mentors, and those who are going to be mentees also will know the expectations. If you have that, then when they look up, oh, these are what I gained from this course, and they will come and you will see it may not be an immediate change, but it will be a gradual, a positive change in the long run. Yeah.
I was asking because we have streamlined our Bhakti education programs, and we are starting something new called Bhakti Pod, which has got varieties of training programs. So this is like training the trainer.
Yes.
Thing.
Yes.
And is there someone like that qualified we can invite here, to your knowledge, that...
I think you can talk to, maybe you can write to Brahmatirtha Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah, in Alachua or Brajabihari Prabhu. They deal with ISKCON Resolve and all those things, so they can give you pointers in that direction. That's a sidebar.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so continuing with the next slide. Yeah, sometimes struggles are what we need actually. It helps us. Why? Because you can reflect on our suffering. Yes? Yeah, we should reflect on suffering. Why are we going through this? And then we can understand better why we are going through certain levels of suffering. The more we think about it, then the more we know. Sometimes you made some activities and it's giving you some issues now. So then at least you will become a better individual in terms of how to face that suffering. You can accept, yes, it's my own fault, and so it makes it easier. So reflecting on one's suffering, and then you can cultivate patience and tolerance also. In general, the sufferings we all go through is not caused by the Supreme Lord. It's all caused by, We create our own problems mostly, yeah, our own sufferings. If nature allowed us to go through life without any obstacles, it would cripple us. Right? Then you won't be a better person. You'll be a mean, horrible person, actually. And we would not be as strong as we could have been, and we could never fly like the butterfly. Agree? Yeah. And have a great day, great life. Struggle a little. Then you fly. Yeah. Now the way the world is created, it's for us to suffer, and the reason why we suffer, the Lord gives us this suffering so that we can, or rather He set it up so to protect us from the futile and fatal illusion that we, spiritual beings, can be happy in this material world. Okay, that's a fatal illusion. It's not our real setting. And then the second reason He gives is it provokes us to redirect our desires to the spiritual level. Okay, the suffering that you go through will then slowly you force yourself and you find there's solace in spiritual activities, but which you can't find in the material things. Yeah, so that's the other reason why the Lord allows us to go through this suffering. And then we can reclaim the eternal happiness that which is our rightful claim, from the previous verse. Of course, as you are practicing, you may feel sometimes you are very far away from the spiritual goal. It's natural. Sometimes you go through that feelings, but that's again where you have to understand that you need to be patient again, yeah. So how are you going to make sure that you'll always remind yourself that you have to be patient? How would you do that? We'll come to that, practices. But I'm just asking, what are some ways? Yes, Prabhu, give him the microphone.
One way that I find helpful is to reset the day when we chant our japa in the morning. And chanting in itself is a practice of patience, isn't it? Like we're chanting to receive Krishna's mercy and Krishna's presence in our life through the holy name. So it is that 2-hour-a-day reminder that I'm not in control, and that Krishna is in control, and everything works on His time. So for me, it's that special time of japa that reinforces this patience.
Okay, nice. Yes, Prabhu, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. I think one thing that I often think about on the part of patience is experience, in one sense, brings us naturally to that position, especially as you pointed out very nicely through the slides, that just by having the commitment to go through all the different obstacles and just keep going, keep practicing, the experience in itself creates this natural sense of patience.
Patience, yeah, it's purifying.
Without going through or without keeping the commitment to the practice, then it becomes very difficult.
Yes, very nice. Thank you. Very nice, yeah. So it is said that the spiritual path is full of inspiration, insight, and amazing fulfillment. But this is only available to those who are willing to also embrace the not so glamorous need, for patience. Yeah. Okay. Now let's look at this one. This is a verse from the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Saesham balyata stattat vishadi abhat ganeranat dairyam dharmam yasho jnanam bhaktim premapi adarshayat. By sending poison and many other calamities one after another to trouble the Pandavas from their childhood, the Lord deliberately showed their determination, religion, fame, wisdom, devotion, and ecstatic love. Now, in the word-for-word translation, the word dhairyam is translated as the patient determination. So determination is also, you can be only determined if you're also patient. Yeah. I thought that was very nice. And this is spoken by Hanuman, and he's saying the invisible super soul, the Paramatma in the hearts, arranged for the Pandavas to undergo many troubles. He did this only to show us, to broadcast the glories of the devotees. Yeah? So sometimes when you're going through a difficulty, maybe the Lord is trying to broadcast your glories. Yeah. And you are saying, don't broadcast. Right? When you go through difficulties and you don't want difficulties, then you are not getting close to Krishna. That's the other way you can look at it. Yeah. Impatient. Is it a modern problem? Yeah, everyone says, yeah. Can you relate to this? Irritation? Yeah. What else? What else? What are the symptoms? Anxiety, irritation, yeah. What about? Annoyance, yes. Anger, frustration, anger, yeah. So these are some of the symptoms. We can relate, right? All of us? Yeah. So you have to go through this almost every day, some of us. But if you're not in control of your senses, yes.
Prabhupada also describes Arjuna's experience in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita.
Let's speak on that. There are people online, they may want to know what you're saying here.
In the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada uses the word impatience for Arjuna twice. And Arjuna was in a confused state of mind, wanting to leave the battlefield.
Impatient, yeah.
So Prabhupada says that's
Yeah,
impatience.
interesting, very nice. Irritation is the feeling of, oh yes, Prabhu wants to say, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. I just wanted to add one more symptom here. I experienced that, and that is trying several other different things.
Trying several other different things. Yes, jumping from one thing to another. Yes, that's true. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. So irritation is the feeling of being angry, actually. That's why you're feeling irritated or annoyed also. Or something that makes you feel like this. Annoyance is a state of being annoyed. And then frustration is actually also being annoyed, disappointed. Because you expect something, you're not getting it. Discouraging. Right? All these are frustration. Desiring something but not getting it. So jumping from one to another, hoping to get it. So the problem it creates is because we are impatient, it brings the worst in us, right? When you are impatient, you are in the mode of mostly passion and ignorance. Therefore, you will react to things without thinking through right? Examination. You are impatient, you want to, and then you just write whatever answer you want. So due to impatience, we develop anger actually. Rudeness, right? Maybe your son or daughter comes and tells you something and you are impatient in doing something, say, get out from here. Similarly, if you are not careful, if you don't hold back and ask yourself, how should I, by simply saying get out, the other party may take it in the wrong way. Like your question this morning. Right? The person may, what? My dad hates me, my mom hates me, the world hates me. Right? They'll go through those kind of... Sometimes people think like that, yeah. They're very sensitive. Actually, devotees are very sensitive. Devotees are more sensitive than the ordinary people. That's my experience, yeah. Yeah, you say something, they'll take it to the extreme, Right? It's over analysis happening, Actually, that's what you meant, because I'm a qualified psychologist and I know what you're meaning when you said that. Every devotee is a qualified psychologist or psychiatrist, And you have a lot of these issues. And then eventually there's no respect because of that. And then you break your relationship. Or the second point is, let's get this over with quickly. How many times you've gone through this? So often we go through this. What is that? It means the work you do is half attempt. Or like the Yanks say, half-assed work. Yeah, like that, yeah. Tangles up with irritation and disappointment, And all the next one is rarely get the results we want. Sometimes you also have the mood, I know best. We're all working and then, no, I know what to do, what to do, okay? And then ends up in disappointment, right? And then all the others want to gang up and beat the other guys up, right? Like if you have a bubble above the head of everyone, you can see the true feelings. Right? You see everyone beating everyone up. Bad relationship again, yeah. But if we take the trouble to understand each other, then Prabhupada and Krishna will be very pleased, right? It's such a simple thing sometimes, but we are very impatient and create a lot of problem. And when we rush through things, the result we want, right, won't come out the way we want it. Let's say you are asked to cook, bake a cake, right? And then you don't want to do it, but then your leader told you, you must do it. Then you go in the kitchen angry, I'm going to do it, bam, 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 bam. And then the cake won't even rise. Right? And then it's about, it's time for serving out, cakes. But no cake. Because you were too impatient, you were frustrated. These are simple examples, but you can see if you extrapolate into your Krishna conscious activities, you can ruin relationships. Right? Tolerate certain things. I give this example all the time, the pakora example. The last pakora example. It's called the last pakora. So then everyone gets pakora, and then the devotee comes with I have one more pakora. Who wants? The two people put up their hand. And then the guy, he says, okay, you take, and then he goes away. So the person who didn't get will look at the server and say, this guy, he didn't give me the pakora. So for the next 20 years, he's holding grudge for one pakora, which you can make in less than 5 minutes. Right? This is reality. I've seen it happen. But if you had said, oh, I didn't get it, that's okay, maybe next time, But if every time the same person refuses to give you a pakara, then okay, fine. Get him, then maybe that's something there. But then you go for a mediation or something like that. Over pakara. So you rarely get the results you want if you are rushing through things. And I discuss this, I know the best attitude. So when you have that kind of attitude, it's very difficult. And finally, it stifles creative growth. Someone can come up with a better idea, more creative, right? Thinking out of the box. So when you don't allow people to give their input, then you are actually compartmentalizing people, and they cannot come up with their creativeness, that may make things easier or better suited for a certain situation. So
Hare Krishna devotees. It was very nice, nice lecture by Radha Krishna Prabhu. Impatience, patience, wonderfully said. Any thoughts I would like to hear from other devotees first? Sharbari Mataji, yes, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Nice to know that the devotees are more sensitive than other people. That was something interesting. And I also liked struggle a little and then fly, this statement. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, please go ahead.
Prabhu, today while Premananda Mataji was, not Premananda Mataji, I'm not remembering who it was, Prabhu told that we cannot force people to do service. The way we can get, or rather he was telling that the leader should have the attitude of understanding that the service will really help him to progress. So with that attitude, when the leader approaches, then the service also gets done and the devotee also progresses. But it should not be just for getting the service done. Approaching devotees should not be just for getting the service done. So that was something that I could relate with few of my discussions with you. And I would like to know how to really have that attitude of this will really help the other person to progress in Krishna consciousness. Sometimes we might not know, and sometimes the service might be of urgency or something of that sort. So it is quite natural that we always, or rather I always think that the work should get done. So how to move from that place to really thinking of the welfare of the other person.
Nice. It's a nice question, nice problem. I've noted it down. I just want to hear both Channakesha Prabhu and Yashaswini Mataji too, who have raised their hands. Mataji. Is that okay? And maybe we can discuss all of these things on Monday, because I think it's getting late.
Sure, Prabhu. Sure, no problem. And thank you for being one such leader, Prabhu, who really
But-
thinks about the welfare of others. That's why you are the appropriate person to answer this.
Please. Yashaswini Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Danvat Pranam. My question, there is one comment and question, Prabhu. First, I like the Prabhu where he was saying that uh, um, uh, Lord give the problems to broadcast, like he mentioned about the Pandavas, that Pandavas got all the problems so that their glories, their devotion, their fame can be broadcast to everyone. So that was nice thing to see the problems in our lives, that it's going to help me in bigger way in future, like that. So it going to give me maturity in spiritual life. So in that way we can see the problems and patiently we can handle it. So that point I like it. And my question is that when Prabhu was saying that devotees are more sensitive than normal people. And the reason we understand that because they contemplate for each small things, because they have to give like we listen about the respect, how small things we need to be careful, how to sit, how to talk, how to behave in particular situations. So in by contemplating on all these things, naturally we become very sensitive for others. And by being naturally being very sensitive for others, we become sensitive for ourselves also. So how to balance this, like being sensitive for others but not for ourselves? So how we can draw a boundary, how we can not taking things for us very sensitively? That's what my question, Prabhu.
Nice one. Nice one. Anybody? And okay. Chenakish, I'm just noting on all these things so that although you said question to me, I presume you are asking everybody and everybody can respond. Maybe on Monday we can hear it. Is that okay, Mataji?
Sure.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can I
Yes,
comment one line, Prabhu? One liner only.
Please, bataiye, Prabhu.
Prabhuji was telling one thing that striken me, like rather we should doing the services for a devotee, we should develop the affection for the devotee. And I was correlating it while listening it. Since we love our children, parents, wife or husband, family members, and we are ready to work day night for them without any return, without any expectation, because we love them. So this is the way, like we should develop the affection, the same affection and love for the devotees also. Rendering of the service will happen automatically. That I process this sentence this way, Prabhu. So that I liked. If I'm wrong, please correct me.
Not at all. Very nice, Prabhu. Thank you. Chennakesha Prabhu, you there?
Yes, Prabhu, I'm there.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Actually, I was liking the comments on what Yashaswini Mata is already covered, Prabhu. I think on this struggle and develop the patience on these difficulty situations. So God has planned to teach something from that struggles. That's it, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you. Mahadi Sundari Mataji or Pranwalla Prabhu, you had raised your hand.
Yes, Prabhu. Sorry. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
I like this when Prabhu said sometimes we need struggle in our lives because it helps us to reflect. So when we reflect, we develop this patience and tolerance. And in the previous week, in this week also, he mentioned we have both good qualities and bad qualities also. When we reflect, then we become patient. But if you if you see all good qualities in you and bad qualities in others, then it is not good. So that means we are becoming pride. So this point makes me to reflect on myself. So thank you.
Thank you for bringing it up. Anybody else would like to add? Kumarika Mataji, you bet.
Hare Krishna Prabhu,
Yes, yes, Mataji.
you wanted me to.
Do you have anything to add? Would you like anything that you liked or
Yes,
some more embellishments,
I liked
Mataji?
quite a lot in this because I was reflecting that it is struggles which make us what we are. Like the butterfly, if it doesn't have to, from the earliest stage, if it doesn't have to work against that obstruction, then it doesn't become a butterfly. Like so that resonated with me because I have gone through my own set of troubles in my life. So, and I really feel that that is what made me Krishna conscious also. So it resonated with me. And I also like the points that the Pranavalabha Prabhu brought it out right just now. That we should see the good in others and the fault in ourselves. I liked it very much.
Okay. Thank you.
Prabhu, just one more thing.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, he also said the problems that we are getting, it's not because of Krishna. It's because of our past mistakes. So that we have to know and act accordingly. So that is also one more learning for all of us.
Thank you. There's just one last thing as a comment, not as a reply to any question here. This is something that I learned recently from a devotee. That devotee is here in this call, but I don't want to embarrass the devotee or put the blame on that devotee, so to say. On the topic of sensitiveness, this nice devotee here told me that from their experience, they have seen that when people often say they are sensitive or express it so either directly or indirectly, in quite a good number of cases, not in all, but in a good number of cases, it so happens that the word sensitive is an euphemism, or it's another way of expressing that please don't, this is my fault, this is my false ego. I don't want my false ego to be broken. I pretty much like the word that I have built with it. And I found it quite interesting perspective too. In some cases, yes, people are sensitive because of various other experiences, especially where they have not had sufficient affection, recognition, being valued by others. As much as we think that we all are self-made, most people are need something from others, and only then they can function well in life. And when that has not happened, people come to this sensitive domain here. So just a thought, just to acknowledge what this devotee person spoke to me, and I thought it might be helpful for all of you also. That's it. Okay, we'll end here. Close to 7:15. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada.